What if the United Kingdom and Canada were the only two countries in the world and you need to make a decision right now? Guys, in this video, we'll be talking about some other areas. This is the second video in this series, and previously we've talked about food. If you have not seen it and you're interested in that, please click on the video before this one. In this video, we'll be talking about transportation and shopping experience, comparing the UK shopping experience and transportation to that of Canada, and then you deciding which one you think is. I'm going to be talking to you guys about my experience mainly because I have lived in the UK for a couple of years and I recently moved to Canada some months ago. And these are things that I've lived through. So I'm not just saying things that are random or things that I just thought about, right? I'm telling you my experience. So for people who are planning to relocate from the UK to Canada, these videos are just like giving you more information based on where I am. I mentioned in my previous video that I lived in South Yorkshire, which is northern UK, and here I live in Manitoba, Winnipeg precisely. So those are the two places that I'm using for comparison. For some people, the experience might be slightly different, but yeah, the people that I've heard and the experience that I've had is pretty much very similar. Okay, so this video is going to give you an informed bank of information so that you can make well-informed decisions. Okay, guys, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about transportation and shopping experience. What is my experience so far? So when it comes to transportation, Canada, Hachitaraja. What that means literally is that how do I even explain that? Anyway, what that means is that they're not see UK back. Like, they don't come close. When it comes to comparison, transportation, you can't even compare. Canada is nowhere close to the UK when it comes to transportation. And why do I say this? Now, when it comes to transportation, I'm talking about like moving in trains, how easy it is for you to connect between cities, how easy it is for you to connect between or within your community or within your city and all that. How easy is it for you to travel? How cheap is it for you to travel? Okay, now transportation in the UK, when it comes to like buses, public buses and trains, is very nice. All through my stay in the UK, I didn't have a car and I was pretty much okay, right? Bus stop to bus stop is not even so far in most places, right? They try to make the bus stops close. So even if you're using public transport and you come out from your house, you know, you're not going to walk like such a long distance before you get to the bus stop to get a bus. Or let's say you're even doing a trip between cities, you will get to your train station and you have a train connecting to the next city. When I worked in the UK, I lived in Sheffield. No, I lived in Rotherham at the time, and I was working at Wakefield, right? I did that commute by train. Okay, it was easy for me to do because I live in the UK. I know if we try that nonsense here. I cannot do that by train here. I don't even know how many times I've seen the train in this country or in this city, right? The connectivity is not great. When it even comes to buses, bus stops are farther apart, they are not on time. Now, I'm not saying that the UK is without fault, but when you compare these two, my experience so far, when it comes to Canada, they don't have as much. It's not the same thing. The experience is like if you're in Canada, you need a car. Everybody cannot have a car, right? But I'm just saying that it's easier when it comes to transportation in the UK. You can connect to cities. I mean, you can commute from Sheffield to London in 2 hours plus, and you're in London, right? And it's not even so expensive. If you do that kind of trip here, it is super expensive. Traveling from the UK to other countries, to maybe you wanted to travel to Greece, is not as expensive. Here, even traveling from one province to the other is more expensive. So when it comes to transportation, public transportation, it is not it's not very palatable in my experience. Like so far, my experience here, we have a car here, which makes it easier. But like I said, all the time that I lived in the UK, I didn't have a car. I used to, and I have two kids, right? And it wasn't the best of situations, but we coped. We could cope. Here, from my house to the closest store to my house, it's like a 9-10 minutes drive, or maybe I exaggerate, like a 6 minutes drive from my house. Okay, there is no bus route, there's no public bus route from where I stay to that store. If I don't have a car, I would have to get a cab and Uber, which you guys already know is pretty expensive, right? So yeah, those are the things that when you check, you be like, and it's not just me. Like anyone who has lived there will tell you that one for free. When it comes to transportation, give it to the UK. Okay, the transportation here, in terms of public transportation, in Canada, no. I know that the previous one I've also said that feeding in or grocery shopping in the UK is cheaper, and now I'm also saying that transportation is better in the UK. Am I trying to imply that cost of living in the UK is better? That is not what I'm saying. You're going to be the one to decide for yourself, but I'm telling you based on my experience, and I'm not going to lie about it. I'm going to tell you guys what I've seen, what people have also said too. Okay, when it comes to transportation, the UK 1 point, Canada 0. And the other thing I wanted to talk about in this video is the shopping experience. If you like to shop, right, and you're planning to relocate from the UK to Canada, you better shop well. And the reason I say this is because there are many options in the UK. So when you go to a mall in the UK, you have various options. Like these stores can even be next to each other. You're moving from, let's say you come out from Zara, you enter New Look. From New Look, you can enter, what is it, M&S. If it's not clothing that you want, there is makeup, there are stores for that. You just walk into the mall. Some people will in the shop to relieve stress in the UK. Do you know that? Like you walk into the mall and you just have so many options, so many stores, clothing, makeup, whatever it is, hair accessories and all that stuff, and they're all beautiful. The quality is nice. The quality is better, in my opinion. It is better than the things that you get here. The experience is not like the UK where you can just, even if you don't want to shop online, most people here, I believe, shop online. I have a couple of friends, in fact, maybe like 5 friends that I know that still do their shopping online from the UK. So they will still say, okay, Shein delivers here, so they still shop from Shein. They have friends who shop for them from the UK and then sent to Canada. Not like Canada doesn't have stores, but it's not the same. Canada people, or people who live in Canada, may not even understand what I'm saying. But if you've lived in the UK, you've shopped in the UK, right, you will get it when you come here. It is not the same. It is not, the quality is not the same, even the price, to be honest. Okay, now when it comes to shopping, some things are more expensive in the UK, no doubt. Some things are more, but I feel like in the UK, because you have so many options, you can choose which one fits your pocket. If I don't have money, I can say, okay, let me just carry myself and enter Primark. Yes, people say the quality is bad, but there's some very good stuff in Primark, right? And if I have money, I can now say, okay, let me do like more high-end fashion and buy and do a Zara or buy stuff from Zara and all that. But here, well, whether you, I mean, it's not the same joy. It's not the same. Even okay, no. I think when it comes to thrift, they're probably at par, because I remember that there sometimes, yeah, because now that I think about it, I think when it comes to thrift stores, they're probably the same. Like if you're shopping at a thrift store, maybe they're same, because I remember buying some things at a thrift store in the UK, British Foundation, right? And average sweaters, like nice sweaters. But even at that, if I think like the quality of the things that you buy in the UK is even more. But when it comes to pricing, it's not so much, because you can do like a £5-6 for a nice sweater at British Foundation. While here, when you want to do Value Village, because those are like their big thrift stores here, Value Village, Salvation Army, you might be doing it for like a 10. So which is like same thing when you convert it. If you convert your £5, you will be close to $10, right? It will be like $9. So I can say that when it comes to thrift items, they're probably the same. But shopping from normal stores, that having options, the quality of things that you get, the UK is better. So so far, what have I said? I've talked about grocery shopping, I've talked about shopping experience when it comes to fashion items, and then I've talked about transportation. And for all three, so far, the UK has my points, right? If you disagree with these things that I've said so far, please put it in the comment section. If you are in the UK and you've lived in Canada, put in the comment section. Let's even know your experience. If you're in Canada and you've lived in the UK, please help me put in the comment section so that people know that I'm not just lying. Or if you have a different opinion, share it so that we can know. Now, these three things that I've mentioned: grocery shopping, shopping experience, and what's the third thing? Transportation. Now, these three things that I've mentioned, tell me your opinion, guys. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about other things, right? And maybe Canada will get some points there. But yeah, that is it so far. We're keeping it short and simple. I don't want to bore you guys with long videos. So that's it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next video. Do not forget to share this with your friends who are considering relocating from the UK to Canada, or from Canada to the UK, so that they can have, the information that they need to make their decision. All right, give this video a like if you like it, and subscribe if you love it, or if you want to see my face again. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye guys.